page 9.1, Political Science, chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Chapter 1, Marxism, Leninism, Maoism. I.A. Marxism. Marxism as a theoretical system has emerged as a major alternative to liberalism or its economic aspect, capitalism. Its genesis lay in the deteriorating conditions of the workers following the establishment of the factory system. The workers, as a result of the Industrial Revolution during the 16th and 17th centuries, who entered the factory were subject to all sorts of exploitation, long hours of work, life in slums, ill health, and the like. Karl Marx, within bracket 1818 to 1883, and Friedrich Engels, within bracket 1820 to 1895, realized clearly the adverse effects of industrialization and capitalism and brought out what is called as the scientific socialism or Marxism after the name of Marx. Marxism has developed since the days of Karl Marx. Even in his own time, there used to be the talks of two Marx, one the younger and the other the older, the mature one. The young Marx of the pre-communist manifesto days, within bracket that is before 1848, bracket closed, was described as a socialist humanist, while the matured Marx as a revolutionary socialist. He, along with Engels, built what is now called classical Marxism. Following it emerged modern Marxism through the disciples of Marx and Engels, who only built on their philosophy. Among these disciples, mention may be made about Karl Kartsky, within bracket 1854 to 1933, George Plekhanov, within bracket 1856 to 1918, bracket closed, V.I. Lenin, within bracket 1870 to 1924, bracket closed, Joseph Stalin, within bracket 1879 to 1953, bracket closed, Mao Zedong, within bracket 1893 to 1976, and the like. Among the contemporary Marxism, one may call it Neo-Marxism, and the names of Georgy Lukács, within bracket 1885 to 1971, bracket closed, Theodor Adorno, within bracket 1903 to 1969, Max Horkheimer, within bracket 1895 to 1973, Howard Marcuse, within bracket 1898 to 1979, and the like can be referred to. The three major components of the classical Marxism, as Lenin has stated, are A. The dialectical philosophy, within bracket the German imprint, and in particular Hegel's dialectical idealism, which Marx has had put it on its feet, bracket closed, advocating in the process dialectical materialism and historical materialism. B. The economic ideas, within bracket the English imprint, and in particular Adam Smith, bracket closed, advocating his theory of surplus value and the analysis and critique of capitalism. C. The state and revolution, within bracket the French imprint, in particular Saint-Simon, Charles Fourier and Proudhon, bracket closed, advocating his theories of classes, class struggle, alienation by freedom, revolution, and the socialist and the communist society. Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. 1. Marxism, Leninism, Maoism, I.A. Marxism, page 9.2. Dialectical materialism is the sum total of general principles which explain as to how, why, and how social changes take place. The social changes take place because of the material forces, and they occur through a dialectical method. A triple method where the mode of production changes into a relations of productions, and relations of production give birth to the productive forces, and at a certain stage of development the two within bracket relations of productions and the productive forces bracket closed clash, and as a consequence lead to the emergence of a new mode of production. Historical materialism is the application of dialectical materialism to society. According to Marx, all history is the history of the self-development of productive forces, and each stage of history is the specific stage of the development of specific productive forces. The slave-owning society indicates the first kind of development of productive forces. The feudal society is the next, followed by the capitalist society. Further, next is the socialist society, and then the communist society. Each subsequent society, Marx says, is an improvement over the earlier society in terms of material development and of development of the productive forces. The different kinds of societies are, according to Marxism, formulations of two types, class and classless societies. The slave-owning, the feudal, and the capitalist societies are class societies where at each stage there is struggle, economic, political, ideological, between the possessing class within bracket the masters, the feudal lords, the capitalists bracket closed, and the non-possessing class within bracket the slaves, the serfs, the workers bracket closed. Class antagonism is characteristic of the classic class societies, and cooperation is the characteristic of the classless societies. Within bracket the socialist society and the communist society bracket closed. Revolution is no revolt but a social change, the point where the relations of productions and the productive forces clash with each other, and the point from where begins the next era, the new mode of production. Marx lived at the stage of capitalistic mode of production. He had studied and analyzed the functioning of capitalism. He regarded capitalism as a specific stage of material development of society, and as such had a beginning, and therefore as a result would have an end to give way to the next stage of material development within bracket socialism. Marx had said that capitalism thrives on surplus value, and that the individualistic capitalism would give way to monopolistic capitalism, at which stage the conscious working class would launch a revolution, and after smashing the capitalistic society would establish the socialist society, the first ever the first ever classless society where each would work according to his abilities. Socialism would give way to communalism. Alienation is one of the central tenets of classical Marxism. It exists where the commodity production is present. More the commodity production, more is the amount of alienation. As commodity production is more widespread in the capitalist society, alienation is more in such a society, more than what it was in the earlier class societies, the feudal society and the slave-owning society. Alienation is a characteristic of only class system. In the classless societies, within bracket socialism and communism, for example, there would be no alienation. Alienation amounts to workers being alienated from the product of their labor, from the process of labor, from fellow workers, and ultimately from themselves as creative and social beings. Marx's theory of surplus value is one which makes the capitalist more rich and the worker more poor. It is the difference between the value a worker creates and the wages he gets. Capitalism thrives on the surplus value, but ultimately leads to a stage where revolution alone releases the society of its contradiction. Socialism, which replaces capitalism, is a classless society, but with a state within bracket in the form of dictatorship of proletariat, whose job is to establish socialism from each according to his abilities, to each according to his work. As society attains complete socialism, it would turn into what is called communism, a classless and stateless society within bracket where the state will wither away. bracket close, from each according to his work, to each according to his needs. Meanings: Marxism specifies means of production, a combination of the means of labor and the subject of labor. Means of labor: machines, tools, equipments, infrastructures, and the like. Subject of labor: raw materials and materials taken directly from nature. Mode of production: a specific combination of productive forces and relations of production. Base of superstructure: base is the foundation, material relations, the material base. Over it is built the superstructure, society, economy, law, polity. As is the base, so is the superstructure. Revolution: a conflict between the development of material productive forces and the relations of production causes the social revolution. Surplus value: the difference between the value of the product made by the worker and the actual wage that the worker receives. Class: the identity derived from the relationship of a people to the means of production. Proletariat, those who sell their labor power and who do not own the means of production. Bourgeois, those who bourgeois, those who own means of production and buy labor power and pay only wages. Lumpen proletariat, criminals, beggars, those who have no stake in the economic system and those who sell themselves to the higher bidder. Page 9.3. Chapter 9. Political ideologies: Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. 1b. Leninism. The previous chapter is under 1a. Marxism. The next chapter in the page 9, chapter 9, Political ideologies: Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. The next chapter is 1b, that is Leninism. Lenin, within bracket 1870 to 1924. What is to be done? Interrogation. Imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism, the state and revolution, bracket close, was a Marxist theoretician, the author of the October Revolution, within bracket 1917 of Russia, and the first head of the first socialist state of the world. Leninism's chief contribution can be summed up as follows. 1. Before capitalism is doomed to its demise, it would pass through the stage of imperialism. Imperialism, Lenin left, is nothing but capitalism at the international level. 2. The revolutionary intent among the workers would come from above, that is, avant-garde revolutionaries who operate from above. Accordingly, a new class of revolutionaries, the new type of party, different from what existed in the Western European countries, secretive, radical, underground, would be required to guide the workers in their historical task of launching the revolution and thereafter establishing socialism. 3. The dictatorship of the proletariat, that is the state of the working class, would seek to abolish capitalism and establish socialism. It is a proletarian political apparatus, a transitional one. Stalinism. Stalin's one major thesis was socialism in one country, while Trotsky's thesis was permanent revolution. 1c. Maoism. Maoism is the application of Marxism-Leninism on the peculiar Chinese conditions. Mao interpreted Marxism-Leninism in the changing conditions of the near latter part of the 20th century China. Unlike the earlier forms of Marxism-Leninism, Maoism under the Chinese conditions sought to have nationalist revolution followed by the bourgeois and thereafter the proletarian revolution. It was thus the People's Revolution, the Communist Party of China, within bracket CPC, guiding the people. Unlike the earlier forms of Marxism-Leninism, in which the urban proletariat was seen as the main source of revolution and the countryside was largely ignored, Mao focused on the peasantry as the main revolutionary force which he said would be led by the proletariat and its vanguard, the CPC. Furthermore, unlike other forms of Marxism-Leninism, in which large-scale industrial development was seen as a positive force, Maoism asserted that in a semi-feudal and semi-colonial society like that of China, agrarian revolution is the priority. Mao felt that this strategy made sense during the early stages of socialism in a country in which most of the people was peasants. Unlike most other political ideologies, including other socialist and Marxist ones, Maoism contains an integral military doctrine and explicitly connects its political ideology with military strategy. In Maoist thought, within inverted comma, political power comes from the barrel of the gun, inverted comma close, within bracket one of Mao's quotes, bracket close, as the peasantry can be mobilized to undertake a, within inverted comma, people's war, inverted comma close, of armed struggle involving guerrilla warfare. The first stage involves mobilizing and organizing the peasantry. The second stage involves setting up rural base areas and increasing coordination among the guerrilla organizations. The third stage involves a transition to conventional warfare. Maoist military doctrine likens guerrilla fighters to fish swimming in a sea of peasants who provide logistical support. Maoist cultural revolution of 1960s to 1970s sought to explain the transitional stage of socialism ranging from 1 century to several centuries, in which the mind is to be attuned as the body in socialist ethos. Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism, page 9.4. 1d, Marxist schools of thought. Western Marxism is a term used to describe a wide variety of Marxist theoreticians based in Western and Central Europe and more recently North America, in contrast to the philosophy as in the former Soviet Union. Structural Marxism is an approach to Marxism based on structuralism, primarily associated with the work of the French theorist Louis Althusser and his students. It was influential in France during the late 1960s and 1970s and also came to influence philosophers, political theorists and sociologists outright France during the 1970s. Neo-Marxism is a school of Marxism that begins in 20th century and harkened back to the early writings of Marx before the influence of Engels, which focused on dialectical idealism rather than on dialectical materialism. It thus rejected economic determinism, being instead far more libertarian. New Marxism adds Max Weber's broader outstanding of social inequality, such as status and power, to orthodox Marxist thought. It comes under the broad heading of New Left thinkings. It is opposed in inequalities experienced by lesser developed countries in a globalized world. The Frankfurt School is an informal term used to designate the thinkers affiliated with the Institute for Social Research or influenced by them. It is not the title of any institution, and the main thinkers of the Frankfurt School did not use the term to describe themselves. The Frankfurt School gathered together dissident Marxists, severe critics of capitalism, who believed that some of the Marxist alleged followers had come to parrot a narrow selection of Marxist ideas, usually in defense of orthodox communist or social democratic parties, influenced especially by the failure of working class revolutions in Western Europe after World War I and by the rise of Nazism in an economically, technologically and culturally advanced nation, within bracket Germany, bracket closed, They took up the task of choosing what parts of Marx's thought might serve to clarify social conditions which Marx himself had never seen. They drew on other schools of thought to fill in Marx's perceived omissions. Max Weber exerted a major influence, as did Sigmund Freud, within bracket, as in Habermas, Marcuse's Freudo-Marxist synthesis in the 1954 work Eros and Civilization bracket closed. Their emphasis on the critical component of theory was derived significantly from their attempt to overcome the limits of positivism and crude materialism. Cultural Marxism is a form of Marxism that adds an analysis of the role of media, art, theatre, film, and other cultural institutions in a society, often with an added emphasis on race and gender in addition to class. As a form of political analysis, cultural Marxism gained strength in the 1920s and was the model used by the Frankfurt School and later by another group of intellectuals at the Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies in Birmingham, England. Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism, page 9.5, 1D, Marxist Schools of Thought, page 9.5. Analytical Marxism refers to a style of thinking about Marxism that was prominent amongst English-speaking philosophers and social scientists during the 1980s. It was mainly associated with the September group of academics, so-called because they are biennial, meeting in varying locations every other September to discuss common interests. The group also dubbed itself, within inverted comma, non-bullshit Marxism, inverted comma close. It was characterized in the word of David Miller by, within inverted comma, clear and rigorous thinking about questions that are usually blanketed by ideological fog, inverted comma close. Marxist humanism is a branch of Marxism that primarily focuses on Marx's earlier writings, especially the economic and philosophic manuscripts of 1844, in which Marx exposes his theory of alienation as opposed to his later works, which are considered to be concerned more with his structural conception of capitalist society. It was opposed by Louis Althusser's, within bracket, anti-humanism, within inverted comma, who qualified it as a revisionist movement. Marxist humanists contend that Marx, within inverted comma, Marxism developed lopsided because Marx's early works were unknown until after the orthodox ideas were in vogue. The manuscripts of 1844 were published only in 1932, and it is necessary to understand Marx's philosophical foundations to understand his later works properly. Post-Marxism represents the theoretical work of philosophers and social theorists who have built their theories upon those of Marx and Marxists, but exceeded the limits of those theories in ways that puts them outside of Marxism. It begins with the basic tenets of Marxism but moves away from the mode of production as the starting point for analysis and includes factors other than class, such as gender, ethnicity, etc., and a reflexive relationship between the base and superstructure. Marxist feminism is a subtype of feminist theory which focuses on the dismantling of capitalism as a way to liberate women. Marxism feminism states that capitalism, which gives rise to economic inequality, dependence, political confusion, and ultimately unhealthy social relations between men and women, is the root of women's oppression. Marxist feminists see gender inequality as determined ultimately by the capitalist mode of production. Gender oppression is class oppression and women's subordination is seen as a form of class oppression. 1E, third way. The third way provides an alternative to both capitalism and socialism, described in various ways as the within inverted comma the radical center inverted comma close, inverted comma the active center inverted comma close, the new mid the inverted comma close, within bracket new middle bracket close, and within inverted comma neo-revisionism, inverted comma close. It is referred to the new within inverted comma Democrats in USA within bracket Bill Clinton bracket closed, within inverted comma new Labour in the United Kingdom within bracket Tony Blair, or the types of states which have emerged in Germany, the Netherlands, Italy, and New Zealand. The third way is not what communism is because it seeks ethical socialism, reformism, gradualism, humanized capitalism, mixed economy, political pluralism, liberal democratic state. It is not non-Marxian socialism because it is pragmatic and seeks globalization, information society, market economy, community as such, full employability, meritocracy, opportunity for all. Certainly it is not the capitalism is because it is not all the industrial society, profit, private ownership. The key features on the third way are: 1. Socialism in the form of state intervention has become irrelevant. 2. Community drawing upon the idea of social essence is another name of cooperation and fraternity. 3. Society to be reviewed consensuously. 4. Emphasis on meritocracy and opportunity for all. 5. State has to play a definite role, has to be a competitive state. One of the important theorists of the third way is Anthony Giddens, Blair's guru. His works include Beyond Left and Right within bracket 1994, The Third Way within bracket 1998 bracket close, The Runaway World within bracket 1999 bracket close, The Third Way and its Critics within bracket 2000 bracket closed. Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism, page 9.6. 2. Socialism. It is difficult to define socialism because it is not one doctrine but a sum total of doctrines. It is close to anarchism, syndicalism, guild socialism, democratic socialism, and evolutionary socialism. That is one reason it has a variety of shades with little differentiations here and there. All shades of socialism talk about organization, but some choose authoritarian while others prefer democratic ones. All shades of socialism resort to planning, but some favor centralized planning while others decentralized one. All shades of socialism stand for equality, but they all have their own perception of equality. Socialism arose as a reaction to the rise and development of capitalism. It arose at a certain stage of development when capitalism failed to deliver goods. It arose against the concentration of wealth in fewer hands, against the deteriorating conditions of the workers, and against overproduction, exploitation, and unemployment. Socialism, both as an ideology and tendency, stands for 1. An egalitarian society, a society of human fellowship where genuine liberty exists with reasonable equality. 2. The satisfaction of man's basic needs, a system where there is a sufficiency of all before surplus is available for some. 3. Social ownership of the means of production, at least of some major ones, say of land, power, banks, insurance, leading ultimately to a situation of inequality of wealth and opportunities. And 4. A system where all the citizens have to contribute to the common good or general social welfare. Socialism is neither Marxism nor communism. While socialism is more of a tendency, communism is more of an ideology. Socialism has a measure of flexibility, whereas communism has the quality of rigidity. Socialism is more a moral imperative, while communism is a society of the future, of complete material development. Socialism believes in a gradual, peaceful and democratic transformation of society, whereas communism believes in the revolutionary evolution of society. The socialist society would continue with the state, while the communist society would be a stateless society. Socialism means the reduction of the capitalist might, whereas communism is for its elimination. The word within inverted commas socialism dates back at least to the earlier 19th century. It was first used self-referentially in English language in 1827 to refer to followers of Robert Wayne. In France, again self-referentially, it was used in 1832 to refer the followers of the doctrines of Saint Simon, and thereafter by Perry, Laroux and J. Regnat in one within inverted comma encyclopedia novel. Use of the word spread widely and has been used differently in different times and places, both by various individuals and groups that consider themselves socialists and by their opponents. While there is wide variation between socialist groups, nearly all would agree that they are bound together by a common history rooted originally in 19th and 20th century struggles by industrial and agricultural workers. Some important variations of socialism are: Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism, page 9.7. Some important variations of socialism are: 2a. Evolutionary socialism. Edward Bernstein within bracket 1850 to 1932 bracket closed, a German Marxist who differed with Marx drastically. In his book Evolutionary Socialism within bracket 1898 bracket closed, he rejected some of the postulates of Marxism. The Marxian theory of historical materialism is at best a trend. The two classes mutually opposed. They ignored the role of the middle class. Class cooperation has done more service than class antagonism. Capitalism over the years has not weakened, rather has strengthened itself. Bernstein therefore advocated: 1. Empowering trade unions. 2. Pressurizing capitalists so to yield to workers' demands. 3. Pressuring democratic and gradual means so to weaken capitalism and empower working classes. The movement is everything. The final aim of socialism is nothing. Bernstein never thought of capitalism as a system of class operation. He rather saw in it a system with a human face, and the capitalist as one who cared for the workers. He was of the opinion that capitalism had all the possibilities of reforming itself, regulating it through the state as constituted democratically by the people. What, in his opinion, was needed was the movement of building pressure on capitalism, a process which could be achieved peacefully. The possibilities of revolution in the changed condition in which capitalism developed itself were remote, for there was no capitalism so weak to be overthrown, no non-conformist working class so strong to launch a revolution that was Bernstein's evolutionary socialism a revisionist stance. 2b. Syndicalism. Syndicalism refers to a set of ideas, tendencies and movements which avow to transform the capitalist society through the organized working class. A distinguished feature of syndicalism is its emphasis on industrial working class organization. For the syndicalists, the labor movements are the means of both overcoming capitalism and running society in the interests of the workers, where industry and government would be run by the labor union federations. Syndicalism is a French word meaning, within inverted comma, trade unionism, inverted comma close. Its advocates include Georges Sorel and Hubert Lagardelle, both French, and Aclest d'Ambris and Arturo Labrador, the Italians. Syndicalism is opposed to the state, regarding it a bourgeois and a middle class exploitative institution. All states are instruments of classroom. The syndicalists regard trade unions organized on a functional basis as the foundation of future syndicalist society. A system of producer societies is to take place of the state. The ideal of the syndicalist is, within inverted comma, free work in a free society, inverted comma close. Free workshop means free society. The syndicalists seek to promote class solidarity. The syndicalists have no faith in peaceful methods in transforming the oppressive and exploitative capitalist society. They favor strikes, sabotage, destruction of machinery, boycott, level and go slow techniques. 2c. Fabianism. Fabianism is the doctrine of the Fabian Society, a small but influential group of British socialists. This society grew out of the Fellowship of the New Life, founded in 1883 under the influence of Professor Thomas Davidson, which looked to ethical reforms and utopian community making rather than to political action for the regeneration of society. A group which included Frank Podmore and Edward R. Peace broke away from the fellowship to found the Fabian Society in 1883 within bracket officially on January 4, 1884. George Bernard Shaw joined in 1994, Sidney Wave in 1885. The society became socialist in 1887 with the adoption of the statement of its policy. It became famous with the publication of the Fabian Essays in 1889 by Shaw Wave, Annie Besant, Graham Wallace and others. Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism, page 9.8. 2c. Fabianism. Fabian socialism has remained essentially evolutionary and gradualist, within bracket, hence its name from the tactics of Fabius Maximus Cunctator, also the delayer, bracket close, expecting socialism to come as a sequel to the full realization of universal suffrage and representative government. The advocates of Fabianism include Sidney Wave, Beatrice Wave, Bernard Shaw, H.J. Wells, G.D.H. Cole, Edith Nesbit, Rupert Brooke, Arnold Bennett and Eleanor Marx. Fabianism stands for socialism to be achieved through reformist and gradual means. It is a middle-class intellectual movement which seeks to establish socialism by educating people in socialism and through methods such as persuasion. The means, according to Ladler, are that 1. It regards the transition from capitalism to socialism as a gradual process. 2. It looks forward to the socialization of industry by the peaceful economic and political agencies already at hand. 3. It sees in the middle class a group that can be utilized in developing the technique of administration on behalf of new social order. And 4. It feels that an important step in the attainment of socialism is the rousing of the social conscience of the community in favor of the socialist ideals. Fabians were committed socialists. Their significant slogans was, within bracket, the inevitability. I repeat, their significant slogan was, within inverted comma, the inevitability of socialism, invert comma close, socialism to be established by gradual reforms within the law, a theory which advocates state ownership of major industries. 2D. Guild socialism. Guild socialism is a political movement which advocates workers' control of industry through trade-related guilds. It originated in Britain and was influential in the first quarter of the 20th century. Rocco describes guild socialism as a, within inverted comma, the intellectual child of English Fabianism and French syndicalism. Hallwell writes, within inverted comma, guild socialism was and remains a kind of anemic version of French syndicalism. It is a halfway between syndicalism, within inverted comma, not working to abolish the state, inverted comma close, and collectivism, within inverted comma, not wanting the state to control industry, inverted comma close, bracket close. It wants to establish guilds of producers and guilds of consumers within the state. The chief advocates of guild socialism are A.J. Penty, within bracket, restoration of the guild system, bracket close, who was practically its founder. A.R. Orridge, the editor of the New Age. S.G. Hobson, within bracket, national guilds, bracket close, the veteran of the movement, and G.D.H. Cole, its most effective and prolific thinker and popularizer, within bracket, see his book Self-Government in Industry, the Guild Socialism Revisited, bracket closed. The chief characteristics of guild socialism are: 1. Wage system needs to be abolished. 2. Self-government needs to be abolished in industry through a system of national guilds. 3. Functional representation needs to be introduced. 4. Democracy needs to be brought about first in the economic field and to be extended to political field later. 4. Industrial guilds and consumers guilds can function side by side, to be organized locally, regionally and nationally. 6. The state has to play a limited role only as a facilitator to the guilds. The guild socialists' method are peaceful and constitutional. Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism, page 9.9. 2E, Democratic Socialism. Democratic socialism is a broad political movement propagating the ideals of socialism on the one hand and their practice within the democratic system on the other. In many cases, its advocates seek to promote revolutionary methods, while some others, the revolutionary ones, numerous writers, thinkers and activists varying in their views, such as Robert Wayne, Karl Marx, Edward Bernstein, George Orwell and Bertrand Russell, Sidney Webb, all have contributed to what may be described as the democratic socialist philosophy. Democratic socialism is largely a left-wing ideology. It supports a fully socialist system, seeking to establish it neither by gradually reforming capitalism from within or by restoring to revolutionary methods. It seeks to advocate a welfare state while willing to consider other means of providing a social safety net for the poorest in the society. It maintains a commitment to the redistribution of wealth and power and social ownership of most major industries, that is mixed economy. It defends the role of the public sector, especially as regards the provision of key services such as health care, education, public utility works. Variants of democratic socialism vary from country to country, but their major features remain the same more or less: exploitation, free society, equitable distribution of social products, enabling state, mixed economy, gradualism, and the like. Page 9.9. Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. 3. Anarchism. Anarchism is a doctrine which does not accept any authority. All forms of government are oppressive and therefore undesirable, and as such need to be established. It rejects all kinds of coercive control and political authority. Derived from the Greek word anarchy, literally means within inverted comma without state. Though the word has been in use since the days of the French Revolution, its negative sense continued for a long time. The term has been equated with chaos and disorder, and anarchists have been seen as bomb-toting terrorists, semi-rebel and semi-cynic. Anarchism is not only opposed to the state, it opposed to capitalism. That is why it rejects political slavery and economic exploitation. It sees a union between the rulers, who are usually capitalists, and the capitalists who have much at stake in the political system. The anarchists are liberals in so far as they seek liberty of the individual. They are socialist in so far as they oppose all types of exploitation, especially economic one. The fact of the matter is that they are neither liberals nor socialists. They are not liberals because they want to abolish the state altogether. They oppose the institution of private property. They condemn capitalism. Within bracket, liberalism is usually described as the political philosophy of the capitalist class, bracket close. They admire revolution. They favor the organizations of the workers and producers. On the other, they are not socialists because they emphasize on the free will of the individual. They insist that the liberty of the individual is beyond the domain of the state. To put it rather specially, anarchism is a doctrine that stands between Marxian socialism and capitalist liberalism against the state and opposed to capitalism. Anarchism is a libertarian branch of socialism or a socialist branch of liberalism. Every anarchist is or can be a socialist, but a socialist can never be an anarchist. The advocates of anarchism include William Godwin, within brackets 1756 to 1836, Inquiry concerning political justice. Within inverted comma, everything understood by the term cooperation is in some sense as an evil. Inverted comma close, bracket close. Max Stirner, within bracket 1806 to 1956, The Ego and His Own, within inverted comma, I and the state, we are enemies to each other, inverted comma close. The whole world is a jail, inverted comma close, bracket close. Pradhan, within bracket 809 to 865, what is property? Within inverted comma, all property is a theft, inverted comma close. The philosophy of poverty, usually described as the founder of modern anarchist theory, bracket close. Mikhail Bakunin, within bracket 1814 to 1876, statehood and anarchy. Within inverted comma, liberty lies in the destruction of the state, inverted comma close, bracket close. Peter Kropotkin, within bracket 1842 to 1921, modern sciences and anarchism, the conquest of bread and fields, factories and workshops, mutual aid, within inverted comma. We do not wait to rob anyone of his coat, but we wish to give to the workers all those things, the lack of which makes them fall an easy prey to the exploiter. Inverted comma close, bracket close. Chapter 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. 3. Anarchism, page 9.10. Anarchism, Kropotkin says, is within inverted comma the no government system of socialism. Inverted comma close. The abolition of capitalism and government. Inverted comma close. As Malatesta within bracket towards anarchism bracket close asserts, it is a political theory that aims to create a society without hierarchies, political, economic or social. It is maximization of individual liberty and social equality within inverted comma freedom without socialism within bracket inverted comma close. Bakunin says within inverted comma is injustice or a privilege, and the socialism without freedom is slavery and brutality. Inverted comma close. Kropotkin's definition of anarchism is that it is a political theory which advocates the creation of anarchy, a society based on the maxim of within inverted comma no rulers. To achieve this, the anarchists hold that within inverted comma the private ownership of land, capital and machinery had its time, that it is condemned to disappear, and that all requisites for production must and will become the common property of society, and be managed in common by the producers of wealth. And they maintain that the idea of the political organization of society is a condition of things where the functions of government are reduced to minimum within bracket, and that the ultimate aim of society is the reduction of the functions of government to nil, that is to a society without government, to an anarchy. Inverted comma close. Anarchism is a theory of liberty. For the anarchists, freedom is basically individuals pursuing their own good in their own way. Liberty is thus a precondition of one's own potential only, and in and through community. Liberties are socially produced. They do not exist because they have been legally set, but because they have become the ingrown habit of people. Anarchism is a theory of non-government. It is an admission that the state or the government is an institution which is oppressive, repressive, exploitative and authoritarian, and which has never done anything useful. Proudhon writes within inverted comma, to be governed is to be watched over, inspected, spied on, directed, legislated, regimented, closed in, indoctrinated, pierced at, controlled, assessed, evaluated, censored, commanded, all by creatures that have neither the right nor the wisdom nor the virtue within inverted comma, by inverted comma close. Anarchism rejects capitalism, which according to most of the anarchists is as coercive, as authoritarian as the state. It is a theory that condemns economic exploitations. Benjamin Tucker opposes the socialism of the ownership of capital. All the capitalists have stake in politics, and all politicians tend to amass wealth. Anarchism is a theory of anarchy, but it is a theory of society, a decentralized society. The anarchist theory society is a society based on free association. Individuals are free to join together as they see fit, come out of it as they feel necessary. The anarchist society, the anarchists hold the view, is a society organization is everything, and everything is organization. Within inverted comma, life itself is organization, inverted comma close. The capitalist society is a society, but within inverted comma, a badly organized one. Anarchist is a theory of social equality. It does not favor, within inverted comma, equality of endowment, inverted comma close, nor equality of income, within inverted comma. Equality for the anarchists mean social equality, that is the equality of condition, that is equal opportunity. By this, what the anarchist means is that an anarchist society recognizes the differences in ability and need all the individuals, but does not allow their differences to be turned into power. Anarchism is not a theory of terrorism. It is not against individuals. It is against institutions and social relationships that cause abuse of power. The anarchists argue that the anarchist revolution is about destroying structures, not people. As Bakunin pointed out, within inverted comma, we wish not to kill persons, but to abolish status and its perquisites, inverted comma close. And anarchism, within inverted comma, does not mean the death of the individuals who make up the bourgeoisie, but the death of the bourgeoisie as a political and social entity economically distinct from the working class, inverted comma close. Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism, page 9.11. 3a, Schools of Anarchist Thought. While mutualism as a body of economic ideas began in English and French labor movements of the 18th century, it later took on an anarchist form, mostly associated with Pierre-Joseph Proudhon in his landmark book, What is Property? Interrogation, published in 1840. He criticized existing theories of private property and expounded an economic theory based on a labor theory of value, stating that, within inverted comma, the price of every product in demand should be its cost in time and outlay, neither more or less, within inverted comma close. However, within inverted comma, every product not in demand is a loss to the producer, a commercial non-value, inverted comma close. Collectivist anarchism is most commonly associated with Mikhail Bakunin and the anti-authoritarian section of the First International within bracket 1864 to 1876 bracket closed. Unlike mutualists, collectivists, anarchists oppose all private ownership of the means of production, instead advocate that the ownership be collectivized. Workers would be compensated for their work on the basis of the amount of time they contributed to the production, rather than goods being distributed within inverted comma according to need, inverted comma close, as in anarcho-communism. By the early 1880s, most of the European anarchist movement had adopted an anarcho-communist position, advocating the abolition of wage labor and distribution according to need rather than labor. Anarchist communist proposes that a society composed of a number of self-governing communes with collective usage of the means of production, with direct democracy as the political organizational form and related to other communes through federation, would be the most free form of social organization. However, some anarchist communists oppose the majoritarian nature of democracy, feeling that it can impede individual liberty in favor of consensus. In anarchist communism, individuals would not receive direct compensation for labor, but would instead have free, unregulated or unrestricted access to the resources and surplus of the commune. Kropotkin was one of the advocates. The early 20th century saw the rise of anarcho-syndicalism as a distinct school of thought within the anarchist tradition. More heavily focused on the labor movement than previous forms of anarchism. Syndicalism posits radical trade unions as a potential force for revolutionary social change, replacing capitalism and state by a new society, democratically self-managed. Rudolf Rocker was one of the most popular voices in the anarcho-syndicalist movement. He outlined a view of the origins of the movement, what it sought, and why it was important to the future of labor in his 1938 pamphlet Anarchism. In his 1938 pamphlet Anarcho-Syndicalism, Max Stirner was the author of a form of individualist anarchism called egoism. Stirner's name appears with the familiar regularity in historically oriented surveys of anarchist thought as one of the earliest and best known exponents of individual anarchism. In 1844, Max Stirner's The Ego and His Own was published, which is considered to be a, within inverted comma, founding text in the tradition of individualist anarchism. Stirner held that society had no responsibility for its members. Page 9.11, Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises. Exercise 1. Karl Marx and F. Engels co-authored A. Das Kapital, B. Anti-Dowring, C. German Ideology, D. Critique of the Gothe Program. The correct answer is C. German Ideology. 2. Exercise 2. Given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion A and the other labeled as reason R. Assertion A. Scientific socialism explains history in terms of class struggle. Reason R. Class struggle in history takes place as a result of contradictions between the proletariat and the peasantry. In the context of the above two statements, which one of the following is correct? A. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is true, but R is false. D. A is false, but R is true. The correct answer is A. That is the correct answer wrong. The correct answer is C. That is A is true, but R is false. Exercise 3. Who among the following pairs of thinkers are regarded as the founders of scientific socialism? A. Charles Fourier and Saint-Simon. B. Sidney Webb and Beatrice Webb. C. Marx and Engels. D. R.H. Tonney and William Evenstein. The correct answer is C. That is Marx and Engels. Exercise 4. The three sources of Marxist thought are A. German philosophy, French economy and British socialism. B. German philosophy, Russian anarchism and French socialism. C. German philosophy, British economics and French socialism. D. Ethiopian socialism, French revolution and Thatcherist autonomy. The correct answer is C. German philosophy, British economics and French socialism. Exercise 5. As per Marxism, which one of the following serves as the force spurring social developing? A. Materialism. B. The Communist Party. C. Socialist ideology. D. Class contradictions. The correct answer is D. That is class contradictions. Exercise 6. Which of the following ideas is integral to Marxism? A. Materialist dialectics. B. priority of the economic factor. C. Surplus value as mode of appropriation of surplus under capitalism. D. Concept of class struggle. The correct answer is A. Materialist dialectics. Exercise 7. What is the cornerstone of Marxism? A. Attack on bourgeois way of life. B. Economic determinism. C. Materialist conception of history. D. A distinctive philosophy of the state. The correct answer is C. That is materialist conception of history. Exercise 8. Marxism believes that A. The real is the rational and the rational is the real. B. Social relations are rooted in the material conditions. C. Economic relations can be understood in the light of the progress of human mind. D. It is human consciousness that determines the social life of men. The correct answer is B. Social relations are rooted in the material conditions. Exercise 9. What is the correct sequence of the following stages as propounded by Karl Marx? A. Primitive communist stage. 2. The feudal stage. 3. Ancient stage. 4. The capitalist stage. A. 1, 3, 4 and 2. B. 3, 1, 4 and 2. C. 1, 3, 2 and 4. D. 3, 1, 2 and 4. The correct answer is C. That is 1, 3, 2 and 4. 1. Primitive communist stage. 3. Ancient stage. 2. The feudal stage. 4. The capitalist stage. Exercise 10. Economic determinism implies ultimate primacy of A. Class struggle. B. Forces of production. C. Knowledge of science and technology. D. Property relations. The correct answer is B. Forces of production. Exercise 11. The Marxist theory maintains that in the highest phase of development, the society will adopt the principle of A. From each according to his work, to each according to his need. B. From each according to his ability, to each according to his need. C. He who does not work, neither shall be eat. D. That government is the best which governs the least. The correct answer is A. From each according to his work, to each according to his need. Exercise 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises, page 9.13. Exercise 12. In Marx's metaphor, base superstructural base refers to A. Forces of production and relations of productions. B. Social and legal institutions. C. Relations of production. D. Class struggle. The correct answer is C. Relations of productions. 13. According to Marxian socialism, in the socialism stage, the state A. is totally superfluous. B. is necessary. C. does not represent the ideology of any class. B. is abolished. Directions within bracket 14 to 15. The following questions relate to assertion A and reason R. Select the right option. Directions 14-15. The following questions relate to assertion A and reason R. Select the right option. Wrong. The question 13 is not properly answered. Question 14 is not properly answered. Question 15 is not properly answered. Exercise, I repeat, question 13 not properly answered and not arranged. Exercise 14 not properly answered. Exercise 15 not properly answered. Exercise 16. Who among the following used the phrase Asiatic mode of production to describe the non-European societies? A. John Locke. B. Thomas Hobbes. C. Karl Marx. D. John Stuart Mill. The correct answer is C. That is Karl Marx. Exercise 17. In which of the following studies does Karl Marx assert the autonomy of the political sphere? A. German ideology. B. Introduction of the critique of political economy. C. The 18th Brumaire of Louis Bonaparte. D. On the Jewish question. The correct answer is B. Introduction to the critique of political economy. Exercise 18. Some socialists hold that employees' unions within inverted comma, encroaching control, inverted comma close, seek to wrest the direction of industries from the capitalists. Which of the following schools upholds this viewpoint? A. Marxian socialism, B. Guild socialism, C. Democratic socialism, and D. Fabian socialism. The correct answer is B, that is Guild socialism. Exercise 19. Match list 1, nature of state, which list 2, ideology. In the horizontal line, in the horizontal column, list 1 and list 2. Under list 1, nature of state. Under list 2, ideology. Under list 1, under list 1 and nature of state, in the vertical column, against serial number capital A, state is an evil necessitated by the selfishness and rapacity of man. Against serial number capital B, state is the embodiment of the best in every man. Against serial number capital C, state is a cooperative commonwealth aiming at positive good. Serial number capital D, state is absolute, permanent, omnipotent and supernaturally sanctioned institutions. Under list 1 and ideology, in the vertical column, against serial number 1, socialism, serial number 2, fascism, serial number 3, Gandhism, serial number 4, individualism, and serial number 5, idealism. I repeat, serial number 5, idealism. The correct answer, now code in the horizontal column, capital A, space capital B, space capital C, space capital D. Under capital A in the vertical column, against serial number A1, serial number B4, serial number C4, serial number D1. Under capital B, against serial number A5, B2, C5, D2. Under capital C, in the vertical column, against serial number A3, B1, C1, D3. Under capital D, in the vertical column, against serial number A2, B5, C2, D2, D5. The correct answer is C, that is under capital A. A is state is evil necessitated by the selfishness and rapacity of man. The correct answer is 4. 4 means individualism. Under capital B, that is state is the embodiment of the best in every man. 5, that is idealism. Under capital C, state is a cooperative commonwealth aiming at positive good. 1, that is socialism. Under capital G, state is absolute, permanent, omnipotent and supernaturally sanctioned institution. 2, that is fascism. Exercise 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, socialism, anarchism. Page 9.14. Exercises. Under exercises, exercise number 20. In the critique of Gotha program, what is the reason on which Karl Marx argues that equal wages cannot be paid to the workers in the immediate aftermath of the working class revolution? A. The needs and requirements of workers differ. B. The productivity of labor varies and it is unfair to pay the same wages to skilled and unskilled labor. C. The demands of primitive capital accumulation does not afford equal wages to workers. D. Militant sections of the working class who have made enormous sacrifices in making the revolution need to be compensated. The correct answer is B. The productivity of labor varies and it is unfair to pay the same wages to skilled and unskilled labor. Exercise 21. In which of their works did Karl Marx and F. Engels first expound the principles of materialistic dialectics? A. Economic and philosophic manuscripts. B. Communist Manifesto. C. On the Jewish question. D. German ideology. The correct answer is German ideology. Exercise 22. Within inverted comma, property appropriated by the revolution should be immediately distributed among the workers' groups and every precaution should be taken to prevent the formation of anything resembling a government. Which one of the following theory upholds this view? A. Anarchism. B. Fabianism. C. Socialism. D. Marxism. The correct answer is B. Fabianism. Exercise 23. Which one of the following does not pertain to Marxism? A. Surplus value. B. Materialist interpretation of theory. C. Laissez-faire. D. Class struggle. The correct answer is C. Laissez-faire. Exercise 24. On what basis does Marxist dialect materialism interpret and analyze the social events? A. Material forces. B. Communal forces. C. Political forces. D. International milieu. The correct answer is A. Material forces. Exercise 25. According to the Marxian theory of materialist interpretation of history, the most fundamental factor in the evolution of the state and society is A. Forces of production. B. Relations of production. C. Science and technology. D. Class antagonism. The correct answer is A. Forces of production. Forces of production are the progressive phenomenon and they help confront the relations of protection. Exercise 26. The Marxian theory of surplus value is largely derived from the theory of A. Adam Smith, B. Ricardo, C. Malthus, and D. John Stuart Mill. The correct answer is A. Adam Smith. Marx had built all his economics on the teachings of Adam Smith, though he had drastically disagreed with him. Exercise 27. Who among the following thinkers has attempted to apply structuralism to study of Marxist socialism? A. Gramsci, B. Althusser, C. Sartre, and D. Horkheimer. The correct answer is D. Horkheimer. Exercise 28. Which one of the following doctrines rejects the role of the state as an instrument of social transformation? A. Guild socialism, B. Syndicalism, C. Fabian socialism, and D. Marxian socialism. The correct answer is B, that is syndicalism. Chapter 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercise 29. In Marx's view, the social revolution occurs when relations of production become a fetter upon the further development of forces of production. The relations of productions in the context refer to A. Relations between the nations, B. Relations between surplus value and absolute surplus value, C. Relation between production and distribution, D. Relation between the basic classes. The correct answer is relation between the basic classes. Exercise 30. Assertion A. Marxists are skeptical about the likelihood of an equitable social order flowing from interdependence and transitionalism. Reason R. Marxists believe that dominant classes of the core states would use their power to control those processes, ensuring that interdependence remains highly asymmetrical and that transitional institutions and regimes reinforce the capitalist system. A. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is false but R is true. The correct answer is A. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Exercise 31. In the Marxian political discourse, ideology signifies A. The universal principles of justice, B. Any system of ideas, beliefs, values and aspirations that inform a social system, C. Political ideals of the proletariat, D. False consciousness. The correct answer is D. False consciousness. Exercise 32. Chapter 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises, page 9.15. Exercise 32. Which of the following pairs is not correctly matched? A. Karl Marx, The Poverty of Philosophy. B. V.I. Lenin, State and Revolution. C. Joseph Stalin, Wage, Labor and Capital. D. Friedrich Engels, Origins of Family, Private Property and the State. The correct answer is Joseph Stalin, Wage, Labor and Capital. Wage, Labor and Capital was written by Marx. Exercise 33. Consider the following statements. Marxism is critical of liberalism for its 1. Narrow concern with civic and political rights. B. Legitimization of capitalist class relations. 3. Inability to perceive surplus value generated in capitalist production system. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 1, 2 and 3. B. 1 and 2. C. 2 and 3. D. 1 and 3. The correct answer is C. That is 2 and 3. 2. Legitimization of capitalist class relations. 3. Inability to perceive surplus value generated in capitalist production system. Exercise 34. The formula within inverted comma from each according to his ability to each according to his work inverted comma close for the system of distribution in the state was given by A. G. D. H. Cole, B. Sorel, C. H. G. Wells and D. Lenin. The correct answer is D, that is Lenin. Exercise 35. Lenin's first important theoretical work relates to A. Factors of production, B. Organization of the party, C. Industrial economy, D. Peasant movements. The correct answer is D. Peasant movements. Lenin's first work related to the conditions of the peasants in Russia. Exercise 36. Lenin reached the conclusion that the disintegration of capitalism would begin in the A. Industrial heartland, B. Tsarist Russia, C. Colonial periphery and D. USA. The correct answer is C, that is colonial periphery. Exercise 37. Who among the following propounded the doctrine of socialism in one country? A. Lenin, B. Trotsky, C. Trotsky and D. Stalin. The correct answer is D. Stalin. Page 9.16. Chapter 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises. Exercise 38. In the process of modifications of Marxism, after Marx, socialism in one country versus permanent revolution was the crux of the controversy between A. Bakunin and Engels, B. Engels and Lenin, C. Lenin and Stalin, D. Stalin and Trotsky. The correct answer is Stalin and Trotsky. Exercise 39. Consider the following pairs. A. Louis Althusser for Marx. 2. J. V. Stalin, Foundations of Leninism. 3. Mao Zedong, People's Democratic Dictatorship. Which one of these pairs are correctly matched? A. 1 and 2, B. 1, 2 and 3, C. 2 and 3, D. 1 and 3. The correct answer is 1, 2 and 3. That is Louis Althusser for Marx. 2. J. V. Stalin, Foundations of Leninism. 3. Mao Zedong, People's Democratic Dictatorship. Exercise 40. Which one of the following is not a tenet of Stalinism? A. The theory of permanent revolution. B. Socialism in one country. C. Intensification of class struggle with socialist advance. D. Strong state under socialism. The correct answer is A. The theory of permanent revolution. The theory of permanent revolution was propounded by Trotsky. Exercise 41. A contemporary Marxist who challenged the humanist theory of Marxism and asserted its structuralist interpretation is A. Max Hockmeyer, B. Jürgen Habermas, C. Louis Althusser and D. Karl Korsch. The correct answer is B. Jürgen Habermas. Exercise 42. One of the significant contributions of Marxism in the 20th century is the conception of, within inverted comma, the intellectuals inverted comma close, developed by A. Lenin, B. Althusser, C. Lukács and D. Gramsci. The correct answer is A, that is Lenin. Exercise 43. Who among the following propagated the idea of cultural evolution under socialism? A. Karl Marx, B. Mao Zedong, C. V.I. Lenin, D. J. Stalin. The correct answer is B, that is Mao Zedong. Exercise 44. The Marxist principle accepted by the Fabian socialist is A. The dictatorship of the proletariat, B. The principle of class struggle, C. The establishment of classless society, and D. The establishment of state ownership of the means of production and distribution. The correct answer is D, that is the establishment of state ownership of the means of production and distribution. The Fabians favored the state ownership of major industries. Exercise 45. Which of the following is not a statement of Karl Marx? A. The state is an executive committee for managing the affairs of the bourgeoisie. B. Capitalism digs its own grave. C. Imperialism is the highest stage of capitalism. D. The state will wither away. The correct answer is C. Imperialism is the highest stage of capitalism. Exercise 46. Wrong. I repeat, after exercise 46, who is a guild socialist? A. Sorel, B. Proudhon, C. Lenin, and D. Kohl. The correct answer is D. Kohl. Exercise 47. Match list 1 with match list 2. In the horizontal column, list 1 space list 2. Under list 1 in the vertical column, against serial number capital A, Penty, serial number capital B, Kohl, serial number capital C, Hobson, serial number capital D, Ruskin. Under list 2 in the vertical column, against serial number 1, National Guilds, against serial number 2, the Dreamers Guild, against serial number 3, restoration of the guild system, against serial number 4, guild socialism revisited. Quote, in the horizontal column, A space, B space, C space, D, under all are capital A, B, C and D. Under capital A, against in the vertical column, against serial number A4, against serial number B3, against serial number C3, against serial number D4. Under capital B, in the vertical column, against serial number A3, B1, C4, D3. Under capital C, in the vertical column, against serial number A2, B2, C1, D1. Under capital D, in the vertical column, against serial number A1, B4, C2, D2. The correct answer is C, that is under A, Penty. 3, that is restoration of the guild system. Under capital B, Kohl. 4, guild socialism revisited. Under capital C, Hobsbawm. 1, that is national guilds. Under capital D, 2, that is the Dreamers Guild. Exercise 48. From the following philosopher, Marx learned the importance of a dialectical philosophy. A. Kant, B. Weber, C. Hegel, and D. Engels. The correct answer is C. The correct answer is C. Hegel. Exercise, wrong. Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises, page 9.17, exercise 49. Marxist economics owes its inspiration to A. Smith and Ricardo, B. Steiner and Proudhon, and B. Bakunin and Kropotkin, and D. Bentham and Mill. The correct answer is A, that is Smith and Ricardo. Exercise 50. Marx's concept of alienation is characteristic of one of the following of his writings. A. Wage, labor and capital. B. Das Kapital. C. Economic and philosophic manuscripts. D. Poverty and philosophy. The correct answer is C. Economic and philosophic manuscripts. Exercise 51. The following value is Marx's significant phenomenon on which capitalism flourishes. A. Exchange value. B. Use value. C. Sell value. D. Surplus value. The correct answer is D. Surplus value. Exercise 52. Which of the following is the basis of Marxism? A. Spiritualism. B. Historicism. D. Materialism. C. D. I will repeat. A. Spiritualism. B. Historicism. C. Materialism. And D. Nationalism. The correct answer is C. Materialism. Exercise 53. According to Marxism, the epoch of social revolution begins A. when the forces of production comes into conflict with the relations of productions. B. when the forces of consumption comes into conflict with the relations of production. C. when the forces of distribution comes into conflict with the relations of productions. D. when the forces of exchange come into conflict with the relations of production. The correct answer is A. when the forces of production comes into conflict with the relations of production. Exercise 54. Economic factor for Marx and for Engels or the material factors was A. only factor, B. one factor amidst so many, C. determining factor, and D. none of the above. The correct answer is C, that is determining factor. Marx and Engels both admitted that the material factor, among numerous others, was always the deciding factor. Exercise 55. Marx's dialectical materialism was A. reversal of materialism, B. reversal of materialistic dialectics, C. reversal of idealism, and D. reversal of dialectical idealism. The correct answer is D, that is reversal of dialectical. The correct answer is D, that is reversal of dialectical idealism. As against the Hegelian dialectical materialism, Marx had advocated dialectical materialism. Exercise 56. In Marxism, the stages of society in economic determinism were in the following order: A. feudal society, 2. socialist society, 3. primitive communist society, 4. capitalist society, 5. communist society. A. 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, B. 3, 1, 4, 2, 5, C. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, D. 2, 1, 4, 3, 5. The correct answer is B. 3, that is primitive communist society, 1. feudal society, 4. capitalist society, 2. socialist society, 5. communist society. Exercise 57. Which of the following is the major pillar of the Marxian economics? A. labor theory of property, B. labor theory of distribution, C. labor theory of value, D. labor theory of consumption. The correct answer is C. labor theory of value. Exercise 58. Which of the following is the transitional stage in the development of society? A. capitalist society, B. socialist society, C. feudal society, D. communist society. The correct answer is B, that is socialist society. Exercise 59. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, list 1 space list 2. Under list 1 in the vertical column, against capital A, Ricardo, against capital B, against serial number capital B, Smith, against serial number capital C, Marx, against serial number capital D, Lenin. Under list 2 in the vertical column, against serial number 1, capitalism condemned, against serial number 2, imperialism as the highest stages of capitalism, against serial number 3, rent, against serial number 4, free trade. Code in the horizontal column, capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D. Under capital A, in the vertical column, against serial number A, 4, serial number B, 4, serial number C, 3, serial number D, 2. Under capital B in the vertical column, against serial number A, 3, B, 3, C, 4, D, 1. Under capital C in the vertical column, against serial number A, 2, B, 1, C, 1, D, 4. Under capital D in the vertical column, against serial number A, 1, B, 2, C, 2, D, 3. The correct answer is C, that is under A, that is Ricardo, 3, that is rent. Under B, that is Smith, 4, that is free trade. Under capital C, 1, under capital C, Marx. Under Marx, 1, that is capitalism condemned. Under capital D, 2, that is Lenin, 2, imperialism as the highest stages of capitalism. Exercise 9. political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism, exercises, page 9.18. Exercise number 60. Assertion A. Marx says that the workers produce things for the market. Reason R. The workers have nothing to sell but their labor. A and R are true. R is the explanation of A. B. A and R are true. R is not the explanation of A. C. A is true. R is false. D. A is false. R is true. The correct answer is A. That is, A and R are true. R is the explanation of A. Exercise 61. Consider the following statements with regard to Marxian alienation. 1. Workers do not control market forces. 2. They are forced to work for the capitalists. 3. They get the wages while the materialists their profit. 4. They are alienated from their work, from their society, though not from themselves. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 2, 3 and 4. B. 1, 2 and 4. C. 1, 3 and 4. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is A. That is 2, 3 and 4. 2. They are forced to work for the capitalist. 3. They get the wages while the capitalists their profit. 4. They are alienated from their work, from their society, though not from themselves. Exercise 62. Class struggle in the Marxian thought relates in capitalism between A. Workers and peasants, B. Workers and capitalists, C. Capitalists and feudal lords, D. Feudal lords and workers. The correct answer is B. That is, workers and capitalists. Exercise 63. The Marxian communist society is A. classless society only, B. a stateless society only, C. both a classless and stateless society, and D. neither classless nor stateless society. The correct answer is C. That is, both a classless and stateless society. Exercise 64. Assertion R. Revolution. Wrong. Assertion A. Assertion A. Revolutions are the locomotives of history. Reason R. Violence is an attending component in revolutions. A and R are true. R is the explanation of A. B. A and R are true. R is not the explanation of A. C. A is false. R is repeat, wrong. C. A is true. R is false. D. A is false. R is true. The correct answer is B. That is, A and R are true. R is not the explanation of A. The two statements are true but not related to each other. Exercise 64. Which of the following does not match? A. Marx, philosophy of poverty. B. Engels, anti-Darwin. C. Lenin, state and revolution. D. Stalin, foundations of Leninism. The correct answer is Marx, philosophy of poverty. 65. Marx wrote The Poverty of Philosophy. Exercise 66. Which of the following is correctly matched? A. Marx, The Poverty of Philosophy. B. Prodhan, Philosophy against Property. C. Lenin, Philosophy as Property. D. Mao, Poverty as Philosophy. The correct answer is Marx, The Poverty of Philosophy. Exercise 67. Assertion A. The new leftism of Howard Marcuse, Franz Fanon and others is not a total rejection of Marxism. Reason R. The new left drew heavily on Das Kapital. A. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is true, but R is false. D. A is false, but R is true. The correct answer is A. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Exercise 68. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, list 1 and list 2. Under list 1 in the vertical column, against serial number capital A, Steiner, capital B, Prodhan, C, capital C, Bakunian, capital D, Tolstoy. Against under list 1 in the vertical column, against serial number 1, God and the State. Against serial number 2, the ego and his own. Against serial number 3, the kingdom of God is within you. Against serial number 4, what is property? code in the horizontal column A space, a capital A space, capital B space, capital C space, capital D space. Under capital A in the vertical column, under serial number, against serial number A2, against serial number B2, serial number C2, serial number D2. Under capital B in the vertical column, against serial number A4, B4, C3, D3. Under capital C against in the vertical column, against serial number A1, B3, C1, D4. Under capital D against serial number A3, B1, C4, D1. The correct answer is A, that is under capital A, Stirner. 2, that is the ego and his own. Under capital B, that is Pradhan. 4, that is what is property. Under capital C, that is 1, God and the state. Under capital D, 3, that is the kingdom of God is within you. Page 9.19. Exercise 9. Wrong. Chapter 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises. Exercise 69. Anarchism is A. Socialist aspect of liberalism. B. Liberal aspect of socialism. C. Socialism, liberalism combined. D. Neither liberalism nor socialism. The correct answer is A. Socialist aspect of liberalism. 70. Which one of the following is true about anarchism? A. Anarchism is communism enlarged. B. It is Marxism enlarged. C. It is liberalism enlarged. D. It is statism enlarged. The correct answer is C. That is, it is liberalism enlarged. The essence of anarchism is liberty. Exercise 71. Within inverted comma, that government is best which governs not at all. Inverted comma close. This is associated with A. Gandhi, B. Tolstoy, C. Thoreau, and D. Pradhan. The correct answer is C. That is Thoreau. Exercise 72. Anarchism stands for A. Authoritarian society, B. Harmonious society, C. Harmonious anti-authoritarian society, D. Anti-authoritarian society. The correct answer is C. Harmonious anti-authoritarian society. Exercise 73. Assertion A. According to T.H. Green, the self is a social self. Reason R. Bosanquet believes that there is mutually of relationship between individual and social community of which he is a member. A. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true, A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is true, but R is false. D. A is false, but R is true. The correct answer is B, that is both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Exercise 74. Which of the following thinkers were exponents of guild socialism? 1. Robert Wayne. 2. Graham Wells. C. Bertrand Russell. I repeat, 3. Bertrand Russell. 4. G.D.H. Cole. A. 1 and 4. B. 1 and 3. C. 2 and 4. D. 3 and 4. The correct answer is C. That is 2 and 4. 2. Graham Wells and 4. G.D.H. Cole. Exercise 75. Which of the following is not a correct statement about centralized planning? A. Centralized planning ensures efficiency. B. Centralized planning is planning from below. C. Centralized planning accelerates the rate of economic progress. D. Centralized planning rules the prospect of free society. Correct answer is not given. Exercise 76. Which of the following is least relevant to the welfare view of functions of the state? A. Reasonable amount of social and economic equality. B. Predominance of group interests over priorities of individuals. C. Policies conducive to equality of opportunity. D. Minimization of areas of conflict to maximize conciliation. The correct answer is B. Predominance of group interests over priorities of individuals. Exercise 77. For the removal of the abuses of the factor system, Robert Wayne advocated A. The organization of a strong trade union movement, B. A revolutionary change of classical relations in society, C. The organization of producers' cooperatives, D. A reward system based on the principle of within inverted comma to each according to his needs inverted comma close. The correct answer is C. The organization of producers' cooperatives. Exercise 78. The author of History and Class Consciousness is A. Althusser, B. Gramsci, C. Lenin, and D. Lukács. The correct answer is D. Lukács. Exercise 79. The nature of French Revolution was A. Bourgeois, B. Proletarian, C. Socialist, and D. New Democratic. The correct answer is A, that is bourgeois. Chapter 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises, page 9.20. Exercise 80. Dialectical theory of Hegel is applied to the explanation of the A. Progress of society and its institution including the state, B. Origin of state and society, C. Nature and functions of the state, D. Philosophy of poverty and exploitation. The correct answer is A, that is progress of society and its institutions including the state. Exercise 81. Niebuhr used the term within inverted comma children of darkness inverted comma close for the advocates of A. Idealism, B. Non-liberalism, C. Marxism, D. Realism. The correct answer is C, that is Marxism. Exercise 82. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, list 1 space list 2. Under list 1 against capital A, the purposes of the state are identical with those of society. Against serial number capital B, the slogan of liberty, equality, fraternity is replaced by duty, discipline, sacrifice. Under serial number C, against serial number C, under list 1 in the vertical column, the welfare of the individual must contribute to the welfare of the community. Under list 1 in the vertical column, against capital D, economic organization combined with peaceful means to bring about social reconstruction. Under list 1 in the vertical column, against serial number 1, totalitarianism, 2, guild socialism, serial number 3, Nazism, and serial number 4, democratic socialism. Quote, in the horizontal column, in the capital A space capital B space capital C space capital D, under capital A in the vertical column, against serial number A4, serial number B1, serial number C1, serial number D2. Under capital B in the vertical column, against serial number A3, B3, C4, D3. Under capital C, against serial number A4, B4, C2 and D4. Again, under capital D in the vertical column, against serial number A2, B2, C3, D1. The correct answer is B, that is under serial number, that is under A, capital A, the purposes of the state are identical with those of society. That is 1. Totalitarianism, totalitarianism. Under capital B, the slogan of liberty, equality, fraternity is replaced by duty, discipline, sacrifice. That is 3. That is Nazism. Under capital C, the welfare of the individual must contribute to the welfare of the community. 4. That is democratic socialism. Under capital D, economic organization combined with peaceful means to bring about social reconstruction. That is 2. Guild socialism. Exercise 83. Which of the following authors and their books is not correctly matched? A. Hitler, Mein Kampf, D. G.S. Mill, utilitarianism, and C. Lasky, A Grammar of Politics, and D. Lenin, Communist Manifesto. The correct answer is D. Lenin, Communist Manifesto. Exercise 84. Which of the following pairs is correctly matched? A. Fabian Socialism Revolution. B. Syndicalism, Parliamentary Democracy. C. Guild Socialism, Functional Representation. D. Democratic Socialism, Dictatorship of Proletariat. The correct answer is C, that is Guild Socialism, Functional Representation. Exercise 85. Which of the following pairs is not correct matched? A. Pradhan, Philosophy of Poverty. B. Robert Wayne, New Christianity. C. Charles Fourier, Flanax. And D. Bedoff, Conspiracy of the Equals. The correct answer is B, that is Robert Wayne, New Christianity. Exercise 86. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, list 1 space list 2. Under list 1, in the vertical column, against capital A, within inverted comma, land, bread, peace. Against capital B, within inverted comma, liberty, equality, fraternity. Against serial number C, within inverted comma, nationalism, livelihood, democracy. Against serial number D, within inverted comma, no taxation without representation, inverted comma, close. Under list 1 in the vertical column, against serial number 1, Chinese Revolution. Against serial number 2, French Revolution. Against serial number 3, Russian Revolution. Against serial number 4, American Revolution. Against serial number 5, Glorious Revolution. Quote in the horizontal line, horizontal column, capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D. Under capital A in the vertical column, against serial number A 2, serial number B 2, serial number C 3, serial number D 3. Under capital B in the vertical column, against serial number A 3, serial number B 1, serial number C 1, serial number D 2. Under capital C, against under capital C in the vertical column, against serial number A 1, B 4, C 2, D 1. Under capital D, against serial number A 4, B 3, C 5 and D 4. The correct answer is D, that is under A, capital A, land, bread, peace. 3, that is Russian Revolution. Under capital B, liberty, equality, fraternity. 2, French Revolution. Under capital C, nationalism, livelihood, democracy. 1, that is Chinese Revolution. Under capital D, no taxation without representation. 4, that is American Revolution. Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises, page 9.21. Exercise 87. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, list 1, space list 2. Under list 1, socialism. Under list 2, propounder. Under list 1 and socialism, in the vertical column, against capital A, utopian. Against capital B, Fabian. Against capital C, scientific. Against capital D, guild. Under list 2, propounder. In the vertical column, against serial number 1, Karl Marx. Serial number 2, G.D.H. Cole. Serial number 3, Sidney Webb. And serial number 4, Saint Simon. Quote in the horizontal column, capital A space capital B space capital C space capital D. Under capital A in the vertical column, against serial number A3, serial number B4, serial number C3, serial number D4. Under capital B, against serial number A4, D3, B3, C4, D3. Under capital C, against serial number A1, B2, C2, D1. Under capital D, against serial number A2, B1, C1, D2. The correct answer is D, that is under A, utopian. 4, that is Saint Simon. Under capital B, Fabian. 3, that is Sidney Webb. Under capital C, scientific, that is 1, Karl Marx. And under capital D, guild, that is 2, G.D.H. Cole. Exercise 88. Match list 1 name with list 2 political philosophy. List in the horizontal column, list 1 space list 2. Under list 1 in the vertical column, against capital A, Howard Spencer. Against serial number capital B, H.J. Lasky. In the against capital C, GDH coal, against capital D, TH green. Under list 1 in the vertical column, 1 guild socialism, 2 individualism, 3 anarchism, 4 pluralism, and 5 idealism. Quote in the horizontal column, capital A, B, capital A, space capital B, space capital C, space capital D. Under capital A in the vertical column, against serial number A, 2, against serial number B, 2, in the serial number C, 3, serial number D, 1. Under capital B in the vertical column, against serial number A, 1, B, 4, C, 2, D, 2. Under capital C in the vertical column, against serial number A, 5, B, 1, C, 4, and D, 3. Under capital D, against serial number A, 4, B, 5, C, 1, D, 5. The correct answer is B. That is under capital A, Howard Spencer, 2, that is individualism. Under capital B, H.G. Lasky, that is 4, pluralism. Under capital C, that is GDH Cole, 1, that is guild socialism. Under capital D, T.H. Green, that is 5, that is idealism. Exercise 89. Match list 1 theorists with list 2 theories. In the horizontal column, list 1 with and list 2. Under list 1 in the vertical column, against serial number capital A, Sidney Webb, serial number capital B, George Sorel, against serial number C, Saint Simon, against serial number D, Edward Bernstein. Under serial number under list 2 in the vertical column, against serial number 1, syndicalism, against serial number 2, Fabian socialism, against serial number 3, utopian socialism, against serial number 4, revisionism. Code in the horizontal column, capital A, space capital B, space capital C, space capital D. Under capital A in the vertical column, against serial number A2, against serial number B2, against serial number C1, against serial number D1. Under capital B in the vertical column, against serial number A1, serial number B1, serial number C2, serial number D2. Against under capital C in the vertical column, against serial number A3, B4, C3, D4. Under serial number capital D, against serial number A, under serial number capital D in the vertical column, against serial number A4, D3, C4, and D3. The correct answer is A. That is under capital A, Sidney Webb, 2, that is Fabian socialism. Under capital B, that is George Sorel, 1, that is syndicalism. Under capital C, that is Saint Simon, 3, that is utopian socialism. Under capital D, that is Edward Bernstein, 4, that is revolutionism. Exercise 90. Within inverted comma, poverty of philosophy, invert comma close, was written in response to, within invert comma, philosophy of poverty, invert comma close. Which one of the following pairs of authors was involved with these two? A. Marx and Daring, B. Proudhon and Marx, and C. Daring and Feuerbach, and D. Proudhon and Feuerbach. The correct answer is B, that is Proudhon and Marx. Exercise 91. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, list 1 and list 2. Under list 1, characteristic features. Under list 2, political ideology. Under list 1 and characteristic features in the vertical column, against capital serial number capital A, formation of the natural harmonious organic communities for the free development of the individual and the abolition of the main resource of coercion stage. Under list 1 in the vertical column, against serial number capital B, formation of self-governing authorities autonomous. I repeat, against serial number capital B, formation of self-governing autonomous associations of people that will work on cooperative basis to establish partnership between groups and states. Under list 1 in the vertical column, against serial number C, capital C, combination of human fellowship, just social system, common ownership and mutual service. under serial number list 1 in the vertical column against a serial number capital D, a system of revolutionary tactics, usually using non-political methods to create an economic federation. Against under list 1 and political ideology in the vertical column, against serial number 1 guild socialism, against serial number 2 democratic socialism, against serial number 3 syndicalism, against serial number 4 anarchism. The correct answer is code in the horizontal column, capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D. Under capital A in the vertical column, against serial number A4, against serial number B2, against serial number C4, against serial number D2. Under capital B, against serial number A1, B1, C3, D3. Under capital C in the vertical column, against serial number A2, B4, C2, D4. Under capital D, against serial number A3, B3, C1, D1. The correct answer is A. That is, under A means formation of natural, harmonious, organic communities for the free development of the individual and the abolition of the main source of coercion state. That is 4. 4 means anarchism. Against capital B, that is formation of self-governing autonomous associations of people that will work on cooperative basis to establish partnership between groups and state. The correct answer is 1. That is guild socialism. Under capital C, combination of human fellowship, just social system, common ownership and mutual service. 2. That is democratic socialism. Under serial number under capital D, that is a system of revolutionary tactics using non-political methods to create an economic federation. 3. That is syndicalism. Page 9.22. Chapter 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises. Exercise 92. Which of the following pairs is correctly matched? A. Saint Simon, Flanax. B. Charles Fourier, New Christianity. C. Robert Owen, New Lanark. D. P. J. Pradhan, International Brotherhood. The correct answer is Robert Owen, New Lanark. Exercise 93. Which of the following brands of socialism considers socialism as a refinement and logical conclusion of democracy? A. Fabianism. B. Guild socialism. C. Marxism. D. Syndicalism. The correct answer is A. Fabianism. Exercise 94. Which of the following are true of socialism? 1. Socialism aims at the elimination of capitalism. 2. Socialism stands for the subordination of the interests of the society to the highest interests of the individuals. 3. Socialism stands for justice, fair play and liberty. It aims at adding to the sum total of social welfare. 4. Socialism stands for the elimination of competition where there is much economic waste. A. 1, 2 and 3. B. 1, 3 and 4. C. 1, 2 and 4. D. 2, 3 and 4. B. 1, 3 and 4. 1. Socialism aims at the elimination of capitalism. 3. Socialism stands for justice, fair play and liberty. It aims at adding to the sum total of social welfare. 4. Socialism stands for the elimination of competition where there is much economic waste. Exercise 95. Which of the following political philosophies has been described by C.M. Joad as, within inverted comma, a hat which has lost its shape because everyone wears it? Inverted comma, close interrogation. A. Socialism. B. Communism. C. Anarchism. D. Marxism, Leninism. The correct answer is A. That is socialism. Exercise 96. Which of the following is not a characteristic of socialism? A. It is a reaction to the social and economic injustice of the capitalist system. B. It is a revolt against the exploitation of men by men. I repeat, B. It is a revolt against the exploitation of man by man. C. It is a protest against an economic and social system based on profit. D. It strives for the abolition of this state. The correct answer is D. It strives for the abolition of the state. Exercise 97. Which of the following thinkers may be called both a utopian socialist and the father of the trade union movement in Britain? A. Adam Smith, B. G.D.H. Cole, C. Friedrich Engels, and D. Robert Wayne. The correct answer is Robert Wayne. Exercise 98. Which of the following statements is attributed to utopian socialism? A. Class struggle is inevitable. B. The laissez-faire is the best economic policy. C. Capitalist system needs to be overthrown by revolution. D. Society needs to be organized in the interest of all. The correct answer is D. That is, society needs to be organized in the interest of all. Exercise 99. Early socialists who confused capitalism with industrialism and wanted to retain only agricultural labor included. A. Fourier and Cabot, C. Fourier and Pradhan, and C. Pradhan, Fourier and Cabot, D. Jefferson, Pradhan and Cabot. The correct answer is Fourier and Cabot. The correct answer is A, that is Fourier and Cabot. Exercise 100. Who among the following thinkers are associated with early socialism, sometimes termed as utopian socialism, inverted comma? 1. Robert Wayne, 2. Saint Simon, 3. Charles Fourier, and D. Proudhon. The correct answer is A. 1, 2, na. Now A, the proposed answers A, 1, 2 and 3, B, 1, 2 and 4, C, 3 and 4, D, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is A, that is 1, 2 and 3. 1. Robert Wayne, 2. Saint Simon, and 3. Charles Fourier. Exercise 101. A socialist theory does not stand for A. State control of the means of production, B. Production to be based on social necessity, C. Social service motive, D. Free and open competition. The correct answer is D. Free and open competition. Chapter 9. Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises, page 9.23. Exercise 102. Consider the following statements about the function of state described to be democratic socialists. 1. They favor collective control and the wide extension of public activities. 2. They believe that individual freedom can be better secured. 3. They believe in state ownership of the means of production for the social welfare of the people. 4. They believe in strong and prosperous state as an end in itself. Which of the following are correct? A. 1, 2, 3 and 4, B. 1, 2 and 3, C. 1 and 2, and D. None. The correct answer is B, that is 1, 2 and 3. 1. They favor collective control and a wide extension of public activities. 2. They believe that individual freedom can be better secured. 3. They believe in state ownership of the means of production for the social welfare of the people. 103. Which of the following were the basic principles of democratic socialism? 1. It aimed at the elimination of the evils of the competition, which creates havoc in a capitalist society. 2. It was against all forms of private property. 3. It believed in peaceful, democratic and constitutional means. 4. It was against a competitive party system. A. 1 and 2, B. 2 and 3, C. 3 and 4, D. 1 and 3. The correct answer is D, that is 1 and 3. 1. It aimed at the elimination of the evils of the competition which creates havoc in a capitalist society. 3. It believed in peaceful, democratic and constitutional means. Exercise 104. Which of the following is not an element of democratic socialism? A. Social justice, B. Revolutionary change, C. Mixed economy, D. Welfare state. The correct answer is B. Revolutionary change. 105. Consider the following political theorists. A. Bernstein, 2. Tony, 2. 3. starchy, and 4 crossmen. Account them those who defended democratic socialism as their ideology and saw themselves as revising Marxism included A. 1, 2 and 3, B. 2, 3 and 4, C. 1 and 4, D. 2 and 3. The correct answer is A. 1, 2 and 3. That is 1. Bernstein, 2. Tony and 3. Starchy. Exercise 106. Democratic socialism distinguishes itself from scientific socialism by which of the following attributes? 1. Rejection of market mechanism to decide on production and distribution policies. 2. Acceptance of central planning. 3. Insistence of democratic methods of decision making. A. 1, 2 and 3. B. 1 only. C. 2 and 3. D. 3 only. The correct answer is 3. The correct answer is D, that is 3 only. Insistence on democratic methods of decision making. Exercise 107. Which of the following is not true of Fabianism? A. It regards the transition from capitalism to socialism as a gradual and peaceful process through political agencies already at hand. B. It sees in the middle class a group that can be utilized in developing the technique of administration on behalf of the new social order. C. It is an important step in rousing the social conscience of the community in favor of the socialist ideals. 3. D. It entirely retains the individual ownership of basic industries and system of production and distribution, but seeks to control these for social good. The correct answer is D. It entirely retains the individual ownership of basic industries and system of production and distribution, but seeks to control these for social good. Exercise 108. Within inverted comma, a halfway house between states socialism and syndicalism within inverted comma. This description fits A. Fabian socialism, B. Guild socialism, C. Marxian socialism, and D. Platonic wrong. Repeat. D. Platonic communism. The correct answer is B, that is Guild socialism. Chapter 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises, page 9.24. Exercise 109. Which of the following statements are true in respect of Fabianism? 1. It is a method of propaganda designed to disarm middle class suspicious and make them socialists. 2. It is to facilitate the infiltration of socialist ideas. 3. It is English collectivist socialism. 4. It advocated the collective ownership and management of nations' land and capital. A. 1 and 4. B. 1 and 2. C. 1, 2 and 3. D. 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is C, that is 1, 2 and 3. 1. It is a method of propaganda designed to disarm middle class suspicious and make them socialists. 2. It is to facilitate the infiltration of socialist ideas. 3. It is English collectivist socialism. Exercise 110. Which of the following can be associated with Fabianism? 1. Value is the creation of society and not of labor. 2. Land should cease to be personal property of the landlord. 3. The changes in the society should be brought by revolution. 4. The key industries may be owned privately. A. 1 and 2. B. 2 and 3. C. 2 and 4. D. 1, 2, 3 and 4. A. 1 and 2. 1. Value is the creation of society and not of labor. 2. Land should cease to be personal property of the landlord. Exercise 111. Who among the following were members of the Fabian Society established in 1883? Inverted comma. Interrogation. 1. Bertrand Russell. 2. George Bernard Shaw. 3. Harold Lasky. And 4. H.G. Wells. A. 1, 2 and 4. B. 1 and 4. Wrong. Repeat. B. 1 and 2. C. 1 and 3. And D. 2 and 4. The correct answer is 2. D. The correct answer is D. That is 2 and 4. 2. George Bernard Shaw. 4. H.G. and H.G. Wells. Exercise 112. Which of the following were the doctrinal principles of the Fabians? 1. A method of propaganda designed to disarm middle class suspicious and to facilitate the implementation of socialist ideas. 2. Within inverted comma, permeation as their favorite maxim, by which was meant that its members were free to join other parties. 2. Preaching and practice of protest against compromises. 4. Leading a protest movement against all existing authorities. A. 2, 3 and 4. B. 1 and 2. C. 1, 2 and 3. D. 1, 3 and 4. The correct answer is C. That is 1, 2 and 3. 1. A method of propaganda designed to disarm middle class suspicions and to facilitate the infiltration of socialist ideas. 2. Within inverted comma, permeation as their favorite maxim, by which was meant that its members were free to join other parties. 3. Preaching and practice of protest against compromises. Exercise 113. Bernard Shaw, who was himself a leading light of his variety of socialism, said about them that they, within inverted comma, agreed to give up the delightful ease of revolutionary heroics on and to take to the hard work of practical reform on ordinary parliamentary lines. Inverted comma close. What was that variety of socialism? A. Utopian socialism. B. Evolutionary socialism. D. Guild socialism. D. Fabian socialism. The correct answer is D. That is Fabian socialism. Exercise 114. One of the aims of Fabian socialism was to A. Emancipate industrial capital from private ownership. B. Train industrial workers for revolutionary action. C. Establish peacefully a classless and stateless society. D. Delegate political authority to autonomous guilds. The correct answer is A. Emancipate industrial capital from private ownership. Exercise 115. Fabian economic theory is based on A. Ricardian theory of rent. B. Labor theory of value. C. Laissez-faire theory. And D. Theory of mixed economy. The correct answer is D. That is theory of mixed economy. Exercise 116. Which of the following has been described as the intellectual child of English Fabianism and French syndicalism? A. Collectivism. B. Liberalism. D. Guild socialism. And D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. That is Guild socialism. Exercise 117. Which of the following ideologies regards general strike as a myth? A. Socialism. B. Syndicalism. C. Fabianism. And D. Guild socialism. The correct answer is B. That is syndicalism. Chapter 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. The exercises. Exercise number 118. Page 9.25. Exercise 118. In the statements, within inverted comma, in its attitude towards the state, X is a halfway house between syndicalism and collectivism. X stands for A. Democratic socialism. B. Fabian socialism. C. Guild socialism. And D. Liberalism. X may also be called as cross. Exercise 119. Within inverted comma, Guild socialism is based on the idea of partnership between the producers and the state in the control of industry, inverted comma close. This was said by A. Hobson, B. G.D.H. Cole, C. Laidler, and D. Orage. The correct answer is B. That is G.D.H. Cole. Exercise 120. Guild socialism aims at A. Maximum liberty for the individual. B. maximum authority for the state, C. maximum democracy in industries, and D. maximum authority for the ruling party. The correct answer is C, that is maximum democracy in industries. 121 exercise. Assertion A. Guild socialism aims at placing authority in the hands of consumers as they are in majority. Reason R. Public authority in representative democracy is constituted on the principle of majority. A. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. C. B. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is true, but R is false. D. A is false, but R is true. The correct answer is B, that is both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Exercise 122. The concept of within inverted comma two parliaments inverted comma close was enunciated by A. Guild socialism, B. Marxian socialism, C. Syndicalism, and D. State socialism. The correct answer is A, that is guild socialism. Exercise 123. One of the weaknesses of guild socialism was that it A. ignored the interests of consumers, B. denied political power to industrial workers, C. aimed at abolition of state by violent means, D. unnecessarily justified territorial representation. The correct answer is B. denied political power to industrial workers. Exercise 124. Which of the following types of representations is accepted by guild socialism as necessary? A. Territorial representations, B. Functional representation, C. Proportional representation, and D. Communal representation. The correct answer is B. Functional representation. Question exercise 125. Within inverted comma, a division is made between the economic order and the political. Inverted comma, I repeat, within inverted comma, division is made between the economic order and the political. The political is relegated to a lower place, in which it is a reflection of and a derivation from the economic, and within both orders a plural cistern of federalism is enthroned with inverted comma close. This view refers to A. democratic socialism, B. guild socialism, C. syndicalism, and D. Marxism. The correct answer is B, that is guild socialism. Exercise 126. The concept of within inverted comma gradualness as the midwife of social change inverted comma close was accepted by A. Marxists, B. democratic socialists, C. syndicalists, and D. anarchists. The correct answer is B. democratic socialists. Exercise 127. Socialism is directed towards A. social, ethical, and B. ethical, religious end. I repeat, wrong. Exercise 127. Socialism is directed towards A. social, ethical end, B. ethical, religious end, C. religious, spiritual end, D. spiritual, psychological end. Correct answer is A, that is social, ethical end. Exercise 128. Which of the following is a feature of socialist economy? A. planned, B. pre-planned, C. unplanned, and D. post-planned. The correct answer is A, that is planned. Page 9.26. Chapter 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Page exercises. Exercise 129. Which of the following is true of capitalism? A. inacquisitiveness, B. cooperativeness, C. sensitiveness, D. acquisitiveness. The correct answer is D, that is acquisitiveness. Exercise 130. The Fabians consist of A. Marxists, B. syndicalists, C. anarchists, and D. socialists. The correct answer is D, that is socialists. Exercise 131. The Fabian Society was named after the name of Fabius Cunctator, who was a Greek, B. Roman, C. Spanish, D. Prussian. The correct answer is B, that is Roman. Exercise 132. Which is not a Fabian? A. G.B. Shaw, B. Sidney Wave, C. Graham Wells, and D. Churchill. The correct answer is B, that is Sidney Wave. Exercise 133. The Fabian Society was founded in A. 183, B. 8. Repeat. The question, exercise 133. The Fabian Society was founded in A. 1883, B. 1884, C. 1888, D. 1889. The correct answer is B, 1884. Exercise 134. As against the Marxian economics, which had its root in surplus value, the Fabian economics was based on A. Mass production, B. Mass consumption, C. Rent, D. Trade. The correct answer is C. Rent. Exercise 135. The Fabians for their socialism looked to A. Mill, B. Marx, C. Engels, and D. Plato. The correct answer is A. Mill. Exercise 136. The Fabian socialism differs from the Marxian socialism in their emphasis on A. Gradualism, class cooperation, continuity, B. Gradualism, class struggle, revolution, C. Continuity, revolution, and class struggle, D. Class cooperation, evolution, and revolution. The correct answer is A. Gradualism, class cooperation, continuity. Exercise 137. As against social democracy elsewhere, the Marxian type of political party in Britain was known as A. Social Labour Federation, B. Marxian Social Democratic Federation, C. Marxian Democratic Federation, D. Marxian Social Federation. The correct answer is A. Social Labour Federation. Exercise 138. Which is not a Utopian socialist? A. Saint Simon, B. Charles Fourier, D. Babeuf, and D. Robert Wayne. The correct answer is C, that is Babeuf. Exercise 139. Who had called the earlier socialists within bracket Simon, Fourier, Wayne, bracket close, as Ethiopian socialists? A. Marx and Engels, B. Lenin and Stalin, C. Mao and Zhao, and D. Rosa Luxemburg and Stalin. The correct answer is A, that is Marx and Engels. Exercise 140. At one point of time, the Nazis called themselves the National Socialists because of A. Socialization of all means of production, B. Marxian communism, D. Socialization of major industries, D. All the above. The correct answer is C, that is socialization of major industries. Exercise 141. The non-Marxian socialism advocates A. Abolition of state, B. Abolition of capitalism, C. Abolition of exploitation, D. Abolition of democratic system. The correct answer is C, that is abolition of exploitation. Exercise 142. For the non-Marxian socialism, socialism is A transitional system, B. Between capitalism and communism, C. A means to an end, and D. An end in itself. The correct answer is D, that is an end in itself. Exercise 143. Social services constitute an important phenomenon in socialism. One of the following does not include in it A. Welfarism, B. Protection law order, C. Unemployment bonus, and D. Provident fund facilities. The correct answer is B, that is protection law order. Chapter 9. Political ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises, page 9.27. Exercise 144. Democratic socialism is associated with the following: A. Rose Luxemburg, D. Edward Bernstein, C. Karl Katze, and D. Friedrich Engels. The correct answer is B, that is Edward Bernstein. Exercise 145. Who had said that movement is everything? The final aim of socialism is nothing. A. Marx, B. Lenin, C. Patetsky, and D. Bernstein. The correct answer is D, that is Bernstein. Exercise 114. Bernstein laid emphasis on A. Class struggle, B. Trade unionism, C. Abolition of capitalism, and D. Revolutionary tactics. The correct answer is B, that is trade unionism. Exercise 147. match list 1 and list 2. In the horizontal column, list 1 space list 2. Under list 1 in the vertical column against serial number capital A, Marx, serial number capital B, Wen, serial number capital C, Bernstein, serial number capital D, G. B. Shaw. Under list 1, 2 in the vertical column against serial number 1, Fabian socialism, against serial number 2, evolutionary socialism, against serial number 3, utopian socialism, against serial number 4, scientific socialism. Code in the horizontal column capital A, space capital B, space capital C, space capital D, under capital A in the vertical column against serial number A4, B4, C2, D1. Under capital B against serial number A2, B3, C3, D2. Under capital C against serial number A3, B2, C1, D3. Under capital D against serial number A1, B1, C4, D4. The correct answer is B. That is under capital A, Marx. 4, scientific socialism. Under capital B, Wen. 3, that is utopian socialism. Under capital C, Bernstein. 2, that is evolutionary socialism. Under capital D, G. B. Shaw. 1, that is Fabian socialism. Exercise 148. One of the tenets was not a feature of evolutionary socialism. A, regulation of capitalism. B, empowerment of the workers. C, emphasis on class conflict. And D, democratization of legislative bodies. The correct answer is C, emphasis on class conflict. Exercise 149. Syndicalism was popular in A, Britain, B, France, C, USA, D, Russia. The correct answer is B, that is France. Exercise 150. Syndicalism has emphasis on the following: A, socialism of the workers. B, socialism of the propertied people. C, socialism of bureaucrats. D, socialism of the capitalists. The correct answer is A, that is socialism of the workers. Exercise 151. Who is a French syndicalist? A, Langelo. B, Canangio. C, Bianchi. And D, Sorel. The correct answer is D, that is Sorel. Exercise 152. The distinguishing feature of syndicalism is A, socialization of all property. B, emphasis on industrial organization. C, establishment of classless and stateless society. And D, formation of democratic state. The correct answer is B, that is emphasis on industrial organization. I repeat again, B, correct answer is B, emphasis on industrial organization. Exercise 153. Who is a new Marxist? A, Stalin. B, Plekhanov. And C, Kautsky. And D, Horkheimer. The correct answer is D, that is Horkheimer. Exercise 154. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, list 1 and list 2. Under list 1 in the vertical column against serial number A, Marx. Serial number B. Under list 1 against in the vertical column against serial number capital A, Marx. Serial number capital B, Lenin. Serial number capital C, Trotsky. And serial number capital B, D, Gorbachev. Under list 1 in the vertical column against serial number 1, Glasnost. Against serial number 2, imperialism. Against serial number 3, First International. Serial number 4, permanent revolution. Quote: capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D in the horizontal column. Under capital A in the vertical column against serial number A3, serial number B3, serial number C3, serial number D1. Against serial number under capital B against in the vertical column against serial number A4, B2, C1, D2. Under capital C in the vertical column against serial number A2, B4, C2 and D3. Under capital D in the vertical column against serial number A1, B1, C4 and D4. The correct answer is B, that is under capital A, Marx. 3, that is First International. Under capital B, Lenin. 2, that is imperialism. Under capital C, Trotsky. 4, that is permanent revolution. Under capital D, Gorbachev. 1, that is Glasnost. Exercise 155. Match list 1 with list 2. in the horizontal column list 1 and list 2. Under list 1 in the vertical column against serial number capital A, Althusser, against capital B, Marcuse, against capital C, Adorno, against capital D, Marx. Under list 1, 2 in the vertical column, 1 against serial number 1, Humanism, against serial number 2, Structural Marxism, against serial number 3, Eros and Civilization, against serial number 4, Neo-Marxism. Code in the horizontal column, capital A, space, capital B, capital C, capital D. Under capital A in the vertical column against serial number A2, serial number B2, serial number C2, serial number D2. Against capital, under capital B in the vertical column against serial number A1, B3, C3, D4. Under capital C in the vertical column against serial number A3, B1, C4, D3. Under capital D in the vertical column against serial number A4, B4, C1, D1. The correct answer is C. That is under A, Althusser. 2, that is Structural Marxism. Under capital B, Marcuse. 3, that is Eros and Civilization. Under capital C, Adorno. 4, that is Neo-Marxism. Under capital D, Marx. 1, that is Humanism. Exercise 156. Giddens is known as the guru of A. Clinton, B. Blair, C. Reagan and D. Bush. The correct answer is B. Blair. Page 9.28, Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. Exercises. Exercise 157. Which of the following book relates to third way? A. Beyond Left and Right. B. State and Revolution. C. Poverty and Philosophy. D. Das Kapital. The correct answer is A, that is Beyond Left and Right. Exercise 158. Which of the following does not match? A. Steiner, Anarchism. C. B. Proudhon, What is Property? C. Kropotkin, The Conquest of Bread. And D. Bakunin, Statehood and Anarchy. The correct answer is A. Steiner, Anarchism. Exercise 159. Which of the following is associated with mutualism? A. Bakunian, D. Proudhon, C. Kropotkin and D. Steiner. The correct answer is B, that is Proudhon. Exercise 160. Who is associated with egoist anarchism? A. Steiner, B. Rocker, C. Proudhon and D. Bakunin. The correct answer is A, that is Steiner. Page 9.29. Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism. In this chapter, philosophers, personalities and scholars. Adorno, Theodor, within bracket 1903 to 1969, bracket close, a German socialist philosopher, pianist, a member of Frankfurt School, a social philosopher with a prominent position in the critical theory. Work, Dialectic of Enlightenment. Althusser Louis, within bracket 1918 to 1990, a Marxist philosopher widely known as a theorist of ideology. Works, Marxism and Humanism, Contradiction and Overdetermination, Ideology and Ideological State Apparatus. Ambris Alceste D, within bracket 1874 to 1934, bracket close, an Italian syndicalist, co-authored chapter of Carnaro, also wrote, within inverted comma, Letters from Exile, inverted comma close. Bernstein Edward, within bracket 1850 to 1932, bracket close, a German social democrat, theoretician, the founder of evolutionary socialism, also revolutionism. Work, The Prerequisites for Socialism and the Task of Social Democracy. Cole GDH, within bracket 1889 to 1959, bracket close, an English political theorist, economist and historian, a member of the Fabian Society, neither a Marxist nor a social democrat. Cole was a socialist. Works, self-government in industry, the guild socialism revisited. Fourier, Charles, within bracket, 1772-1837, bracket close, a French utopian socialist. He coined the term feminism in 1837, work designed for utopian, also known for his cooperative structures. Phalanxes, Gideon's Anthony, born 1938, a British socialist known for his history of structuration and his holistic view of modern socialism, a third way theorist, influenced former British Prime Minister Tony Blair, works Capitalism and Modern Social Theory, New Rules of Sociological Method, The Constitution of Society, Beyond Left and Right, The Third Way, The Renewal of Social Democracy, The Third Way and Its Critics. Horkheimer Max, within bracket, 1895 to 1973, a German philosopher and a socialist, one of the founders of the Frankfurt School, a critical theory member, works Eclipses of Reason, the authoritarianism state, the longing for the totally other. Kautsky Karl, within bracket, 1854 to 1938, a leading theoretician of social democracy, a German Marxist, works economic doctrines of Karl Marx, the class struggle, Marxism and Bolshevism, democracy and dictatorship, social democracy versus communism. Horst Karl, within bracket, 1886 to 1961, a new Marxist, sought to adapt Marxism to new critical situations, works 10 theses, Marxism and philosophy. Lucas George, within bracket, 1885 to 1971, a Hungarian Marxist and a critic of a traditional Western Marxism, work History and Class Consciousness. Marcus Herbert, within bracket, 1898 to 1979, a German-American philosopher, a member of the Frankfurt School, also known as the father of the New Left, a term he disliked and rejected. Works Eros and Civilization, One-Dimensional Man. Wayne Robert, within bracket, 1771 to 1858, a Welsh social reformer, a utopian socialist, worked for cooperatives, workers, their education, work, a new view of society. Saint Simon, within bracket, 1760 to 1825, a French utopian socialist, work, the new Christianity. Sorel Georges, within bracket, 1847 to 1922, a French philosopher and a theorist of syndicalism and anti-scientist, works The Illusion of Progress from Georges Sorel, Essays in Socialism and Philosophy. Trotsky Leon, within bracket, 1879 to 1940, bracket close, a Ukrainian-born Bolshevik revolutionary and a Marxist theorist. He was expelled from the Communist Party by Stalin, deported and assassinated, works Terrorism and Communism between Red and White in defense of Marxism. Webb Sidney, within bracket, 1859 to 1947, a British socialist economist and a reformer, a Fabian co-authored a book, History of Trade Unions. Chapter 9, Political Ideologies, Marxism, Socialism, Anarchism, page 9.30. In this chapter, key terms and concepts. Alienation, a term used by the Marxists to denote the division and separation between the possessing class and the non-possessing class, suggesting the estrangement, powerlessness and depersonalization of the non-possessing class. Avant-garde, it is a French word, means the front guard. advance guard or vanguard, a term usually used for the work done by the small group. The Bolsheviks would call the Communist Party as the vanguard of the working class. Egalitarianism is a doctrine that equality ought to prevail in the society, a practice that eliminates differences in social status. Emancipation, it refers to freeing someone from the control of another, a term used by Marx in his economic and philosophic manuscripts. Exploitation, it refers to the utilization of another person or group for one's selfish purposes, taking unfair advantage of a person or a group. Gradualism, a doctrine that evolutionary change is gradual, slow changes. Mutualism, a form of cooperation in which people gain mutual benefit from their interaction with one another. Neo-Marxism is a doctrine which seeks to interpret Marxism is in the first changing conditions, keeping in view the changed realities. Pacifism is a doctrine that violence in any form is unjustifiable. Revisionism, it is a theory and practice of revising one's attitude in the light of changed situations, a moderate evolutionary form of Marxism. In this chapter, authors and books: Carter A., The Political Theory of Anarchism; Giddens A., The Third Way, The Renewal of Social Democracy; Harrington M., Socialism, Past and Future; Len Day, The Rise and Fall of State Socialism; Marshall P., Demanding the Impossible, A History of Anarchism; Martel L. Ed., Social Democracy; McLennan D., The Thought of Karl Marx; Miller D., Anarchism; Mesconas G., In the Name of Social Democracy; Purkis J. and Buen J., 21st Century Anarchism; Session D., 100 Years of Socialism; Wolf R.P., In Defense of Anarchism; Woodcock G., Anarchism; Reed A., Socialism, Theories and Practices.